Okay, today we are going to do a photo mechanic, and the main thing we're going to emphasize is how to save photos. So you notice I click that and look at here. These are the photos we took and they are saved into the directory. I partly wanted to make a video for this because it's kind of hard to search for this because a lot of things on Unreal Engine's camera come up, but we want an actual photo saving mechanic. Though I have linked some like camera effects on how, if you want the camera to look like an actual camera, I linked some nice tutorials. They're not mine, but they should help you if you want the full camera effect. But we're going to focus on saving things. We're going to kind of do this in 3 parts. We're just going to do the bare minimum saving system. We are then going to set up a real-time version of it. So like this little preview, which you may or may not need, and then we are going to set up a way to label the photos correctly. So that way you can export many photos instead of it just getting overwritten all the time. So here I have just a slightly modified third-person template project, just so it looks a little bit different, so we can take some photos of something interesting. I clean this out a little bit, and we are going to set this up here. This is in 4.27. Click this, and we're just going to use our left mouse button. The first thing we'll need, there's a few key nodes here. Create render target 2D, and we are actually going to need a render target. Target 2D. That's the way to look for it. 2D scene capture component, and then we can go down here. We want to change this to final color, and we can turn off capture movement in every frame. We'll probably turn that back on though when we do the preview. Because it's low definition here, and we also want this to be RTF RGB A8 in order so it can be a PNG file, we will need to adjust the gamma. So let's do set gamma like that. 2 looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to grab this off since we're going to need to do a few more things to it. And we'll grab our scene component, and we want to set this as the texture, just like that. So this render target 2D that we just created, we want to set it as the texture, just like that. And then after we've done that, we will capture the scene. And then the next thing we will need to do is export the render target. And conveniently, there is a node for that. We are going to kind of hard code in. We're just going to call this photo, but very important, make sure to label it with .png right there. For the file path, there's also a node for this. It's get project save directly. Technically, you could use any of those. So you could use the content directory or the file path. It's kind of up to you. See what works, but this one does work. And then just to verify, we're going to do a quick print string, and we'll just do photo taken like this. And then if we click, see it's taken a photo. Let us verify. So this is the project directory of this. So if we go under saves and look at there's a photo. However, something to note here is every time we do this, so if we take multiple photos, it just overwrites it since it's the same name every single time. So there's a way you could kind of name this however you want. A fairly convenient way I've seen is we can append the string, and we're going to need a few different things here. At the very end, we'll put this in before we forget. We're going to do .png, and then we're actually going to incorporate in the time and date into the photo name, so that way each photo gets saved individually. You probably wouldn't want it to be like this in your game, otherwise the player could like swamp their computer with photos. But we're just doing it this way just so it's clear how this works. For the first one here, I'm just going to grab the level name. So in our case, it'll be third person example map. A lot of this is preference. And then there is a convenient node called now. And this is your local time. And then you can actually break this date time. And look at this. It is nicely, gives you the year, day, month, hour, minute, even milliseconds if you wanted. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put an underscore there and an underscore there. And I'm going to put in the time here and then the date here. So the way we do that, I'm going to start with the time, and I'm going to append this, and I'm going to do hours, minutes, seconds. So hours, and then I'm going to put a little slash, and put a slash there, and then minutes I'm going to put there, seconds I'm going to put there. And then for this one, we're going to do the same thing except with underscores. And this is just my preferred way of sorting the date. I think it's a military way of sorting the date. I'm not certain. The year, I'm going to put the last. And then the day is first. However, for the month, I like the three so I'm going to use this one here. I like the 3-day month organization. Notice how I have my time sorted here. So I'm just going to add in 12 different slots here. And I'm going to quickly fill this out. So the first one is Jan. The next one is going to be Feb. March. April. May. June. July. August. September, October, November, and then finally December. And we have this plugged in. It's the wrong one right there. Just like this. And then we're going to plug this here. And this will let us, functionally what this will do is let us save many photos since they're all going to have a unique date, with the exception if you save a photo within the same second, it will override. But I think 1 photo a second is fine. Okay. So we're taking photos, and look what it's doing. It is giving them this nice little date. It's naming it under the map, and then this is the hours, minutes, seconds. It is in military time, so it's 8:20, and then it's 15th of March, 2025. Let's go ahead and put this in here as well, so we can kind of know what's going on. So let's say photo taken under And we'll grab the project directory. I'm going to add enter a space there. And then we actually need a /, and we'll add the name. So there we go. It gives us the, we have, I guess we don't, do we not need the /? Let's check this here. Okay, yeah, I guess we don't actually need that. Let me just check this. Yep, I made the same mistake there. Okay. Lastly, so you have your thing exporting. Just as a sanity check, let's change the sky color a little bit. It's nice blue. And let's see, is this working? So we have our pink ones from earlier, and then it just made these blue. Very good. Obviously, you can change the resolution. We have it a pretty low resolution. And then finally, we're going to do the real-time preview, which is fairly straightforward. You can just go down here. We're going to select capture on movement. We are going to then make a render target. And this will be the real-time one. Real time. I'm just going to save it under my custom art folder. And then what we can do, we're just going to create a material with this, and we are going to set it to user and just put the final color right in like that. And now let's pull up a plane. Make it a bit bigger. And let's, not this, we want to grab our material, put it onto this. Is this valid? 1 second. Save this. There we go. And our square is upside down. But there you go. So now we have a real-time preview, and the photo still takes. So now we got the trippy kind of mirror effects. All right, that's it for this video. I wanted the important stuff to be at the front. We kind of got into some extra stuff. Mostly I'm making this video because I found it tricky to find out where to export stuff, just because there's a lot of honestly really great tutorials on like camera settings for Unreal. So looking up for the actual like how to export a file of a photo for like a photography mechanic. There is a tutorial series on how to make a better photography mechanic with like an inventory and a set number of photos like you would have in an adventure game. It's not my tutorial, but I'm going to link it in the description, just if y'all want to learn that as well. That's where I got most of this material, and I just wanted to kind of condense it both for my sake and for the sake of people trying to look this stuff up. All right.